host of the Gridiron.
Booyah! So I won't necessarily break the bank. Now, the salary cap jumps up. It hasn't been official yet, but the NFL went out and brought it up to the teams and gave them a parameter for where it's going to be at. Where are we at here? Is that it? Nope. All right. Okay. Graziano of ESPN reported that the league has informed the teams that we have the 2025 NFL salary cap will be between $277.5 million and $281.5 million, which is well beyond the $272 million initially projected by Over the Cap. So it's going to go up at least $5 million for what they were thinking, maybe 272. And once again, that's a big leap. It's going to go up at least $20 million from last year, right? All right, let's see here. The NFL salary cap won't be finalized for another week or two, but there is some very promising news regarding that teams will be able to spend this offseason. That was the same thing last year, too, because remember, if you remember, right, when Shane, one of the good things about the Hard Knocks was Shane was sitting at his desk and he got I think it was a text I think he got. I don't remember who it was from, but it was the salary cap. And he was thinking it was going to be whatever, 240 or something like that. And it was like an additional $10 million or whatever it was. And it was like, whoa. So he knew he got a little bit extra money to spend. Unfortunately, of course, he didn't spend it on the right player, if you know what I mean. But, so he knew he had some money to spend. But it's the same thing here. I mean, the salary cap's going up. And the Giants do have, they have over $40 million, right? But they had the capability, if they would let Graham Gano go. Who the heck is the other guy? Oh, Nacho. If they were let Nacho go, Graham Gano go, and then it can restructure 4 or 5 guys. Obviously Burnsy is one of them. There's some of the top-notch guys, Runyon Jr., right? Some of the other guys. I mean, they could literally get another probably $40 to $45 million. But I'm saying, but if they were to let Graham Gano go, they got McAtamy on the roster. They could draft a kicker. I even seen in one of the mock drafts the Giants were supposed to, mock draft. That's all it is. Draft a kicker. But there's 35 million kickers out there. They can bring a kicker in for $1 million or whatever compared to Graham Gano. Love the guy to death, but he's been getting injured all the time. Plus, he's up there in age, too. His leg is getting a little bit weaker, right? And he's getting injured. But, I mean, Nacho is not your cup of tea, shall I say, right? He's not, nothing super special. So, I mean, if we let those guys go, I know we could save, there'd be a little bit of dead money. But I know we could save $5, $6, $7 million between the two. If we let those 2 guys go, so Giants, they have some money to spend. They do have some money to spend. The thing is, we'll have to wait and see, what they're doing at the quarterback position, right? Are they, they're going out, they're going to go balls to the wall, crazy, and got to bring Darnold in here, we're going to talk about Stafford here in a second. We're going to Russell Wilson or one of those, or we're going to bring Aaron Rodgers in here. They're going to spend $30, $40 million a year on a quarterback. So I have to wait and see. Or we're going to bring in a Justin Fields, somebody like that, right? Somebody to carry the torch, hold the torch for, Justin Fields would not be a ton of money, right? All right, where are we at here? Whoop. Oh, here we go. All right. Graziano's citing the memo circulated in the 32 NFL teams about the pending increase, about the anticipated jump as a result of the fact that the 2024 player cost and salary cap amount was reduced by $10 million per club due to a $9 million smoothing adjustment, whatever the frick that is, and an incremental $1 million being added to the performance-based pay. This significant increase is great news for the Giants. Using the initial $272 million figure, the Giants were projected to have $41.39 million of total salary cap, which was the 14th most in the league, of which $31.7 million is considered effective cap space. That means pretty much like after signing your rookie class, your draft class, and all. So now that this new range has been established, the Giants, who per over the cap, have $232 million in total cap liabilities on the books for 2025 already, will see an increase in their total cap space from $45 million to $49 million. So almost $50 million, right? I said if they were let go, Nacho, Gano, that would put them at probably around $55 million, maybe even 56. If they were to reconstruct some of the, like I said, like Burns, John Runyon Jr., I don't know, maybe Sexy, Dexter Lawrence, some of those the guys with the big salaries, right? We do some of their contracts. I know I seen an article the Giants could get like another 40 or 45 million. So the Giants could, possibly get around $90 million in cap space if they wanted to go all out, balls to the wall, right? So you could certainly do some damage with that. Right? Giants cap situation was already in solid shape before this announcement, even though New York has $27.299 million in dead money, but 22 of that is from Daniel Jones. Okay, and as of right now, from what I remember from Spot Track, is that next year, as of right now, they don't have any dead money. Right, so all that money, of course, they'll probably have some dead money for next year, but I mean, out of $27 million that they have in dead money, 22 of it is from Daniel Jones. Right? For a bigger picture perspective, the Giants, who are likely going to need to spend big money on a veteran quarterback and possibly a veteran cornerback, among others, during the upcoming free agency period, don't necessarily have to make any cap cuts or restructures to players already on their roster. However, they could still do so if a player is no longer in the team's upcoming plans. Like that. Defensive lineman Nacho, $5.033 million cap hit, and kicker Graham Gano, $5.665 million cap hit, are two such players whose respective statuses with the team are in question. This year's draft class features a deep pool of defensive linemen that the Giants could turn to in place of Nacho, who was in the final year of his contract, and the Giants would yield a $3.6 million savings if he is cut. Meanwhile, Gano has struggled with his kicking the last two seasons. He's converted just 64% of his attempts of 40-plus yards over the last two seasons and has struggled to stay healthy. And he could become a cap casualty if the Giants decide to go in another direction. Gano has 2 years remaining on his contract, with all the guaranteed money owed having been paid out already. The Giants were to move on from him this year, they'd save $3.165 million and take a $2.5 million dead cap hit. So that would be $3 million. So let's see. So they would save over $7 million if they were to let Nacho go, and if they were to let Graham Gano go, over $7 million. So they might have about $49 million. Plus, if they let those two guys, that would give them another, they would have what would that be, like $56 million, I said. Plus, they got to sign their draft class. So that's going to knock it down. But if they were to possibly, like, without restructuring anybody else's contracts, right? If they were to let Nacho go and Graham Gano go, after they sign their draft class and the top 51 players and all that, the Giants would have, probably roughly about $45 million to spend. 40 to 45 million in free agency. And I said they could certainly bump that up quite a bit if they start restructuring some contracts. So the thing is that, they do. I don't want to see him bring somebody in just for a year because bringing somebody. I mean, restructure some kind to bring in a top-notch free agent to bring somebody in for a year is it's not because we're not going to the Super Bowl next year. So if we bring somebody in, let's bring some. I mean, look, they were talking about those cornerbacks. There's a lot of good quality cornerbacks from $14 to $17 million, which is right down the Giants. Right, if they're going to make a little splash, that might be the way to go. And the guys are young, so we're not bringing them in for 1 year. We're not bringing them in for 2 years. You're signing for maybe 3 or 4. You sign for 4, but you get out after 3. Right, but so that way we'll have some good quality cornerbacks in here between Phillips. We bring in a free agent and maybe Banks, and then now we got a couple of years to see what Banks is going to do. What are you going to do, buddy? You're going to play some football. Right? You're gonna buckle the chin strap. You're gonna go out there and play some hard-nosed football. We're just gonna have to bench you and just let you go or something. So we'll have to wait and see. But Giants, are in a good position. They certainly have some money without question.